Hello ladies, welcome to the Week 8 review and the Week 9 preview of the Jugs and Nugs League. This week saw some clear definition within the league into two halves. We had one half that doesn't suck and the other half that wish they were the first half, trying to fight off Sean's naming convention and not be called the anal love injection next year. Well, we had some really good games this week actually, so why don't we get to which one happened to be the game of the week. Yes, of all the good games this week, I felt this one had the most intrigue. Best team versus the worst team. Team on a roll versus a team that totally retooled. Let's take a peek. First, Chris got his hands on Brian Westbrook. That made him pretty happy.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal.
Then he saw that Scott wasn't starting Donnie Avery, one of the hottest wide receivers in the league. That even made him more happy.
Everybody do the Michigan ride. Everybody likes the Michigan ride.
That move pretty much cost Scott the game. Chris ended up beating him 102-93. And now Chris is out of the basement and hoping not to get his name changed, which would make him happiest of all.
Oh, I'm just wild about Harry, and he's just wild about cannot do without. He's just wild about me.
Another subplot to this league has been the resurgence of Joe, who has been doing pretty well lately. Mostly because he's been putting in some good lineups, so take a bow, Joe. Unfortunately, though, it sort of backfired on him this week, having three guys come up with big goose eggs against Tommy, who upended him 101-86. Those three guys, well, they'd be Derek Mason, Mike Fury, and the Colts defense. See, Joe, those guys make you look pretty silly. And although Tommy had his share of clunkers in Julius Jones, Javon Walker, and the Pittsburgh defense, his shiny new toy in Phillip Rivers was enough to put him over the top. Speaking of backfires, I've had to try to get by with a few backfiring trades of my own. Pulled in guys like Larry Johnson, Torrey Holt, TJ Hushmanzada, and Carson Palmer. So what's a guy to do when he's down on his luck with the trades like that? Make another one, of course. So I pull in LT and Andre Johnson. Whoa, wait a minute. Jury's not out on that one yet. They did help me get by Ed 115-98. So now I'm in first place, and Ed's worried that Sean may like the name Ass Taster for him next year. Another person trying to bounce back is Darryl. Darryl's made more trades than me. And he's traded for some pretty good players, too. Let's see how they did. Let's take a peek at Maurice Jones-Drew. Ooh, that ain't good. How about Plaxico Burress? See, Darryl, this is where I can help out. I could have told you, never trade for an asshole. They never seem to play when you need them to. And on top of all that, Darryl got beat by a pass. That's right, one pass. One 65-yard touchdown to Nate Washington. That's definitely going to leave a mark. One of the hottest players in the league right now is Steven Jackson, who's owned by Dave, and has been helping Dave win a few games. So how do you think Dave was feeling when he found out Steven Jackson wasn't playing this week? So Dave did the next best thing. Got his backup in Travis Minor. Only problem, Travis Minor didn't start. So then I remembered he had Roddy White, decent quarterback, and he was playing Sean. What's the worry? So we beat him 92-84. Hey Atherton, how you feeling about holding on to Owens? Alright, JJ and John, you know what time it is. Okay, brass tacks. JJ beat Johnny 78-75, but this one was fucking ugly. First, for Jay, the Giants sucked. But then John made up for it by having Indy suck for him too. I mean, look, if it hadn't been for Santana Moss and David Garrard, this would have been a suckfest of epic proportions. Let's just forget it ever happened. 3-3 again. Lovely. Well, I deserved it. I mean, I picked Sean. On to the Week 9 picks. Well, no LT, but no Steve Smith. I'll take my receivers over Joe's running backs. Giants should crush Dallas. That should be good news for the Dongs. Daryl, if you can't beat Ed, give it up. Scott gets by the picks in a squeaker, and which should be the game of the week next week. Although Brian Westbrook is playing Seattle and should score mega points, it takes more than one guy to win a fantasy football game. That's why you're going with the tits. And more so because I'd like to see it, rather than think it's actually going to happen. I'm going with Charlene in the upset. Well, that was Week 8. Here's looking to Week 9. And to Sean naming himself. Good night.